Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve LeanCode problem 1136 high click induction area. So this is problem is of medium complexity. So before we start looking the details in description and the solution, I just want to mention that my channel focuses on helping people who are preparing for coding and telephonic in-person Java interviews by providing different videos like for the problems that were previously asked by big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and many others. It already have playlists dedicated to solve and explain problems in Java, and the algorithm and data structures also explained for the same. So please subscribe to the channel. If you are preparing for interview learning Java or learning computer science concepts, this channel will be helpful to you. So please subscribe. So let's go through the description of the problem. On a two-dimensional matrix, every position is integer pixel value between 0 and 10. The position that is larger than pixel threshold is called high click induction position. The area of connected high click positions which is larger than area threshold is called high click induction area. The positions which are adjacent positions are also connected. Please count number of high click induction area in the two-dimensional matrix. So and these are the constants they have given us. So basically let's take this example over here so I can explain you what the problem is and what we are trying to find out actually first. So basically in this example they have given us that pixel threshold is 5 and area threshold is 1, right? So pixel threshold is equal to 5, right? And area threshold is equal to 1. So that is given to us. So what we have to find out is we have to find out all the cells which are greater than 5, right? So that those are the high induction cells. For example, this cell is greater than 5, right? 6. After that you can see like 8 is greater than 5, then 7 is greater than 5, then 6 and 9 are also greater than 5, right? So now after this they are saying that the connected cells will create a high induction area, right? So 6 and 9 will create one area here, right? This area will be created. This is high induction area. I am highlighting it for you. And this is another high induction area which is 8 and 7, right? And this one is also another induction area, but we will not take 6 because they have given us the area threshold is equal to 1, which means that the area should be greater than 1 basically, right? So greater than 1 we will take this, it is 2, so we will take this as an induction area, high induction area, and we will take this also because this is also 2, right? 2 is the size of this area, 2 is the size of this area, so we will have to calculate those number of areas and we have to return those areas. So we found two areas here, so we will have to return 2, right? So as you can see the output is 2 here. So that is what the problem is. So let me just revert back this highlighted thing so I can reuse this matrix again. So now what we will do is we are going to solve this problem using DFS, right? Depth first search or depth first traversal. So DFS we will use here to solve this problem. And what we will do is we will first go through this matrix cell by cell, every cell we will go, and whenever we find a cell which is greater than this threshold, right, 5, we will make it 1 basically, right? Otherwise we will make it 0. So this one is the converted matrix. So as you can see, all the cells which are greater than 5 are converted to 1, right? 1 1 1 1 1 because they are greater than 5, otherwise other cells will be 0 basically, right? And after that, once we are done with this conversion, we will now start iterating this matrix from this point, right? We will start iterating from here, and whenever we find any one, we will start doing DFS and we will calculate the area, right? So for example, we hit this one, we will try to go in 4 directions, right? Because they have given us that it is 4 directions, right? The area is, you have to calculate in 4 directions basically. So you can go right, down, up, and left, right? So like this basically 4 directions. This is how the DFS works. And As you can see, if you are going up, you are out of boundary of the matrix. If you are going left, you are going out of the boundary of the matrix. If you are going right or down, then you have 0. So whenever it's 0, we don't want to consider that, right? Because that is not a high induction cell. So we will just return from that point, right? So in this case, you will see only area is 1 basically, right? So for this, I am just writing the area is only 1 here, right? Similarly, if we go visit this cell, it is then we will visit this down cell also, right? Down cell. So here we will find the area is equal to coming as 2, right? 2 is the area here because of these two cells are connected. And similarly, once we visit this, we will visit this also and the right cell also, and this area also coming as 2. So our threshold of area is given as 1, which means that we found these two areas, right? These two areas we found which are high induction areas. So we have to return 2 because there are these two different areas we found. And this is how the I just created it for your understanding. If you like, if we are doing DFS, then we will go in this fashion, right? Upward cell, downward cell, right and left. So if our cell is ij, then if you go upward, it becomes I minus 1j, right? If you come bottom, then it will be I plus 1j because it's the next row. If you go left, it is same row but previous column, so ij minus 1, and if you go right, it is same row but next column, so ij plus 1. So this is how we have to explore all these 4 directions, right? 4 directions to find out the area, right? Like the high induction area. So we will create the 4 directions array and we will use that in our solution. So this is what the problem is, and this is how we are going to solve this problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at the implementation now. So first we created one directions 2D array because we have to go in these 4 directions, right? So we will use this array when we are using DFS to go the 4 directions. So first thing is we calculated number of rows and number of columns here, right, from the given matrix, correct? And after that we will create one set here, right? So set is to hold what, whenever we visit a cell, we just want to put that into the set, right? Because we don't want to revisit a cell. So once we visit, only once we want to visit the cell, not again. So that is why we created a visited set. And after that we will first we are going through the complete 2D matrix, and whenever we find any cell which is greater than the pixel threshold, right, we will make it, mark it as a 1, otherwise we will mark it as 0, which I have shown you here, right? So that's what we are doing here. And after that we will just create a count of, to hold the count of number of areas. So now again we are going to go through the 2D matrix, and whenever we find a cell with 1, right, and it's not visited already, right, so we will go and we will start doing a DFS on that cell. So we will pass the ij, means cell coordinates, number of rows and columns in the matrix, the visited set and the matrix itself, right? And we will calculate the area. So let us take a look at the DFS function. So before the going to DFS function, I just created one helper function here that will check if the cell is valid, right? The cell we are going to visit in the DFS, is it valid or not? So as you can see, first thing is we want to check is we don't want to go out of the boundary of the matrix, right? So we are checking it, x is less than 0 or x is greater than equal to n, y is less than 0 or y is greater than equal to m. Means if we are if this condition is happening true, then we are going outside of the boundary, so we will just return false. Otherwise we also want to make sure that the cell we are visiting is, if it is 0, then it's not a high induction cell, right? So we will still return false in that case. Otherwise, if the cell we are visiting is already visited, right, it's already in our visited set, then we don't want to revisit again, so we will just return false here. So this function will help us to determine if the cell is that we are going to visit is valid cell or not, basically, right, in DFS. So first thing is, in the DFS we want to check if it is a valid cell that we are visiting, is it valid or not, right? If it's not valid, we will just return 0 as the area, right? Otherwise we will add it into our visited set here, the xy, and we will just combine this xy by pipe, right? Because we want to make it a string, so we will do that, right? Because x is a integer, y is integer, we will want to create a string by appending this pipe actually. And then we will initialize area to 1 because we already have seen one cell, right? So one cell area is already 1, right, basically. So we will initialize that to 1 and we will go to 4 directions. These 4 directions, now this highlighted one, this we are now going all these 4 directions we will go, and dx and dy we will calculate by adding the direction, right, to the, here we will add the dx and dy to the original x and y, right? Original cell coordinates we will add dx here and dy here, so that we can visit a new cell, right? This is a new cell, and again we are passing same row and columns and visited set and matrix, right? So it will go in DFS, it will go in all 4 directions and it will keep calculating the area, right? For example, if you look at this, like from this cell it will calculate this area as 2, from this cell it will calculate this area as 2. So that's what it is doing, and at the end it will return the area. And we once we get the area here, after the DFS is done on that cell, we will check if it is greater than our threshold, right? Area threshold, we will count it, otherwise we will not count it. For example, in this case our threshold is 1, right? So we will count this, but we will not count this, right? Because this is only 1, right? So only we will count if it is greater than 1. So it is 2 here, it is 2 here, right? So we will count it, and at the end we will return the count of number of areas we found, right? So this is the simple DFS implementation to solve the this problem, high click induction area. um, so this is a medium difficulty problem. So I just thought that it's a kind of interesting problem to solve and make a video on, so people can also understand it, how we can solve these kind of problems. So let us just quickly run this test case that is given to us, right? So we should get a now area is equal to 2, right, our threshold. So now, as this is the same example that we took here, so now we are getting correct answer, right? 2 is the output because our threshold is 1. Now let's change it to 0. Now if we change it to 0, we will get 3, right? This 1 2 and then 3, correct? So let's just run this quickly. So we are getting correct result here, right? 3. So so this is the unit test case we have taken actually. So I think we can just go ahead and submit this solution now. So as you can see, our solution got accepted by LeetCode. This is the way you can solve high click induction area by using DFS and with the help of a visited set. So go through this. I'll put this code into my GitHub account. You can check it out there. I'll put it in the descriptions, the link. Also, if you haven't already checked the LeetCode and LeetCode playlist on my channel, please check it out. If you are preparing for coding interviews, it has over 100 solved problems explained with details and examples. Those problems were problems from big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and so many others. If you are preparing for coding interviews, that will definitely help you. Also go through the Java interview playlist if you want to check out the frequently asked telephonic Java questions. It's discussed there, and how to answer them is also discussed. So go through them. Also, if you find this video helpful and if you like it, please subscribe it and like it. Your subscription is really important to us because this is the way the video can reach to more people. If they are preparing for coding and Java interviews, they can also watch this video and they can also benefit from by and get helped by watching these videos. So please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching the video.